should use some Hero Fest Cross the Blaze featuring Orvell. I actually didn't expect it to come out this early. I thought they were going to wait like maybe a week or two, but Orvell's kind of not really super OP from CTB, so I feel like a lot of people are going to skip this banner, but I'll tell you my thoughts on it and tell you whether or not you should summon. So let's get right into it. This Hero Fest will feature Delia, Sandstone, Orvell, Deez, and Lapley. Of course, Orvell being the new CTB unit, let's talk about it. So Orvell is a light attacker with all physical slots, by the way. He has 5-star physical, 5-star physical, and a 4-star physical. His skill is 18-second cooldown, 6000% light damage physical, increase the skill damage to non-boss enemies by 100%, 700 break. His normal art is 20,000% light damage physical for 15 seconds to increase your own accuracy, and you decrease the enemy's physical resistance by 25%. And his true art is 65,000% light damage physical for 15 seconds to increase your stats by 50%. And then when there are 5 stacks of Champion's Proof, you deal 65,000% light damage physical for 15 seconds to increase stats by 50%. And now you also ignore enemy's defense. And yes, this is by 100%. He just doesn't even factor in defense anymore.
But OP, what is Champion's Proof?
I got you. Champion's Proof is one of his unique abilities. On use of arts or true arts, he adds 1 stack of Champion's Proof, a max of 5 stacks. For each stack, you increase your damage by 40% and skill CT recovery by 20%. So at max, of course, this means he has 100% skill CT recovery and he has 200% damage up. Pretty insane. Also, he has the same ability that Rayon has, where he increases freeze and paralysis resistance by 100% and he does not flinch. And then when near death, he'll increase his damage by 10%. And his true weapon, let's talk about that too, because he is an attacker. If you use this, it increases all light allies damage by 40%, which is pretty good on like mono team. So if you're using like mono light, of course, you know, that true weapon will be phenomenal. Or if you're just using him on any other team, it'll still be good for just himself. But also when equipped by Orvell, it increases your attack by 50% and equipment damage by 20%. So if you have his true weapon on him, plus whenever you pop his true art and you increase your own stats by 50%, of course you're getting 100% stats up buff, which is really nice. I have a lot of thoughts about Orvell. I personally really want this unit. I've been looking at him for a while and I really liked his kit. It's similar to Togoro's, but a little bit more sustainable, I want to say. More so for like a long-term fight than like just going in and nuking, even though his kit is absolutely able to nuke because of his high modifiers. But as a sustained damage dealer, I have to put it into perspective with everybody else that's going to be coming out within the next few months and the units that we already have out. If we compare him to like Yusuke or Celia or even Juno coming later on, usually they give a little bit more to their team apart from just damage. Like for example, Yusuke is able to give everybody arts gauge. Same thing with Celia, she's able to generate arts on her true art. And even Juno, I think that's the same thing. She's able to generate arts for everyone. Orvell doesn't have that, and he's really he's a very selfish sustained DPS unit. I would even compare him to Shuri because a lot of people, you know, always say Shuri's sustained DPS, which she is. But even Shuri, she provides at least a feint for her team, and also she's able to reduce the enemy's damage resistance by 50%. But Orvell is literally all damage, and if you're going to be going for him, you have to kind of understand that Orvell is really only bringing damage to your team. He's not bringing anything else. I think Orvell is a good unit in my opinion, and I think it's gonna be a very fun unit for a lot of people to use. But if you're a new player and you're lacking units, I don't think you get this unit. I think he's a unit that you need the right units to support him for all the shenanigans he wants to do. He's not like Yusuke or Celia or even Juno coming out later on, where you can just use them. You don't really need too much support for them. Once they get going, they're going. But Orvell's not providing anything for you. I really don't think you go for this unit if you are severely lacking some supports and stuff. But if you have everybody, I think this is a unit that you may want to look for and be like, oh, you know, this is a cool light unit. I may go for him. He's purposely there just as a unit for veteran players to maybe play around with and see what they can do with it. But as far as sustained damage goes, if you're looking for a really top tier sustained damage dealer, I don't think Arver is it, because you can just skip this banner and wait for Juno, and Juno is going to be the best sustained damage dealer for a very long time because she's just busted. As for the rest of the units on the banner, we have of course Sandstone, amazing unit, top tier, god tier unit. She does kind of lose some value though, because some of you guys may have picked her from the unit choice ticket. The only content you really can't use her in is Vits, because Vits just destroys any fire unit that comes into that fight. Apart from like Badul, you know, can handle it. And I think maybe Sandstone can handle it too if you like really want to do it. But I think Badul may be a little bit better for that fight just because of it. Delia, I think is just an old unit. I don't think a lot of people used her. I know people may have used her whenever she first dropped like on global, but after that, I haven't seen her in a very long time. I think since she dropped, I've never seen anybody use her. Deez is actually kind of sleeper in my opinion. He's a really good last water unit for your mono water team. Like for that last slot, he's very good for it. Like if you don't have 4 really good water units, you can get away with these in Deez. As for Laplay's been here since the first anniversary was when she first came out. I had her in my box for so long, I've never used her. Even though she is kind of cool, her whole kit is about deploying robots and then firing off this huge laser and ignoring the enemy's defense and then all the robots, I guess, die, and then she has to rebuild the robots again. But as for viability, I mean, there's other units that can just do what she does better, but her kit is really cool, very unique design. So should you summon on this banner? It's up to you if you want to do it. But if you are saving maybe for Juno later on, if you're saving for Luan, if you're saving for Saitama and the One Punch Man collab, you know, I think you can easily skip this banner and you won't have any issues at all with skipping it. It's not a god tier banner, it's a decent banner at best, so I think you can easily skip it. If you're new to the game, I don't think you summon on this banner either. Even though like maybe you really like Orvell because you like his design or whatever the case may be, or you read the story, you like the story portion of him. I don't think you summon on it. You kind of need support, and if you don't have that support in the very beginning, it's going to be hard to kind of get him going. It's going to be more of a nuisance than more of him help. But if you're a veteran player, you know, you have those excess resources, you know, you have these god tier support units, then Orvell is definitely somebody that you can get away with using. And I know I just said Orvell, and I don't know how many times I said Orvell in this video, but it's Orvell. Whenever I say Orvell, I mean Orvell. It's just that the JP version called him Orvell, now Global's calling him Orvell, so I'm used to saying Orvell. And even as a new player, like the only good unit for you on this banner would be Sandstone in the long run. Orvell may have some uses in in-game content, I'm not gonna lie. He may be able to squeeze into some in-game comps that people find. And then Deas, as a new player, you're just trying to build the best party you can. You're not focusing on mono teams yet or anything like that. You don't care about that yet. You're just trying to build a really strong party that can just tackle most content, and the only content you're not going to be able to tackle is of course the mono floors, because you need of course mono units. So as a new player, I think Deas loses value, but as a older player that may be trying to build up his mono team or his specifically mono water team, Deas is really strong for that. He's not the most optimal unit for it. He's just a really strong fourth unit if you're missing the other top tier units that can be used on mono water. So as a new player, like I said, then you skip this banner. I don't think you summon on it. If you want Orvell and you just want to try to see if you can get him, maybe do one multi, do your guaranteed, see if you get him. If you don't, you don't, whatever. He's going to come back on a legendary CTB banner in like 4 months. As a veteran player, I think it's up to you. If you like Orvell's design, you like his kit, and you just want maybe a fun unit to mess around with, kind of similar to how Toguro was, then hey, Orvell may be a good pickup for you. And then for collectors, you know, you guys, if you want to go on this banner, going ahead, but just know, you know, we will have a legendary Cross the Blaze banner within the next few months, like I said. So if you want to wait till then to get them, then of course I would say that may be a little bit more value for it. That's gonna be the end of the video. That was the should you summon for the CTB banner. Tell me down below if you're gonna be summoning, if you're hyped for this banner, or the case may be. Also guys, just know if you're not gonna be summoning on the banner, you can still get a unit from this, because Virago is a free unit you can get just by playing the event, and you beat it, boom, you get Virago, and you can now use him. He's a dragon, pretty cool, and yeah. But guys, thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy Pete. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more, and last but not least, man, don't forget to drink water.